Okay, go.
All right.
This is Christopher Hart. His wife was doing massage at the time at Reverse Aging, and she brought Christopher in. Chris was having problems with his memory and some major illness, problems with digestion and depression and fatigue. And so she brought him into Reverse Aging to use the infrared saunas. And the first day that Christopher came in, when he was filling out the form, he could not finish the whole form. He started crying because he was reading the words, but it wasn't making sense in his brain. He was very upset, and I said, don't worry about it, just let me read you the form, sign, that it's at your own risk, and let's just use the sauna. And after he used the sauna the first time, he cried again, but of gratitude. The tears were of gratitude because the sauna had helped him immensely. So, do you want to give a testimony?
Sure. That's correct. I started painting for my father when I was 12 years old. And back then they still had lead in the paint. And over the years, I got poisoned by heavy metals, cadmium, lead, mercury, and by solvents and by toxins and chemicals that were in the paints. And by the time I ended up here at Reverse Aging, about 6 years ago, I was in a mess. I couldn't talk, couldn't think, couldn't have this kind of conversation at all. I was almost senile. And not only that, but I had very low energy levels. I could only work maybe 4 or 5 hours a day. I was in serious trouble. I had spent around $36,000 of cash out of pocket to various doctors to try to find a cure. And I was getting no results. So I was desperate. I was losing work. I was basically in real serious trouble. My immune system was collapsing. Ended up in the hospital a couple of times. And finally my former dearly beloved, who was a massage therapist at the time, suggested I come use a far infrared sauna. And my first question was, isn't that what they use to warm French fries at McDonald's? Because I thought it was kind of a gimmick. But I was so desperate that I was willing to try anything. And I considered that to be just about anything. So it is true, I came in to fill out the form and I couldn't complete the interview. I couldn't complete the form. I couldn't think. I broke down weeping on your desk.
Yeah, there's only about 20 questions on there.
Yeah. So anyway, I tried the sauna, and after the first try, the first 30 minutes, I actually did feel better. So to make a long story short, over the years, I continued to use the far infrared sauna, and it's been a miracle for me. It's restored my health, my thinking capacity, I hope.
Well, your memory.
My memory. I feel better. In fact, I told my son on the phone the other day, I feel better now than I have in probably 15 years. And it's true. I'm so grateful every day to wake up. Now I'm going to cry because it's so good to be able to think, to converse, to plan, to organize, to work, to read, to all those kind of things. And not only that, but to have the energy to do it. And to outperform and outwork people that are 20 years old. And, I can run circles around them. And I feel sorry for them because they're on the same track I was, sucked into the crappy food and the chemicals and all that junk.
When did we meet? What year was that?
When I first started? Oh gosh, it had to be around 90... Oh no, not that far over. Maybe 2005, something like that.
Yeah, it was definitely, because it's 2011, it was definitely 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, it's been quite a while. And I used the sauna for a while, and then I got better. And then human nature as it is,
dropped off for a little
I'm better,
while. Then he would come back.
And then I came back, and I used it for a while, got better, and then I came back, so finally I realized that, it's a long-term solution, and will keep me healthy. And now I tell all my kids and family that they need to get one.
One more thing, well, really 2 more. You mentioned your beard, but firstly, we'll get to that secondly.
That's a mustache.
Oh, the mustache. The mustache. You said that it was coming in darker.
Yeah.
So, and it is what? What's the name of my business?
Reverse Aging.
See,
yes.
He has a good memory.
Yep.
And then the other major thing is that Chris travels, and he's used a plethora of different infrared saunas.
I have. I've used only maybe 5 or 6 different kinds, And some of them you can tell when you get in, they just don't do anything. You might get hot, maybe. You might sweat a little bit, maybe. But you just don't get the results.
Yeah, it's nothing like a Thersauna. It's like you're sitting in there wasting your time.
Yeah. You can really tell the difference. If you're sensitive to energy, and I am, you can really tell the difference just by sitting in them. But long term, you get the results too. You really do. So it makes a big difference.
Thank you very much, and thank you for coming in today for the testimonial. Maybe it will help somebody out there who's painting and who's younger, who doesn't really understand that they're really making their system. So, I mean, even if you are wearing one of those masks, you're still ingesting those toxins on a daily basis. And what would you say for somebody who is a young painter who's young, because we don't notice things until we get older most of the time? What would you say to somebody who's painting about the infrared sauna?
The first thing I'd do is find a new career.
Well, that's true. It's true. It really is.
But the second thing is you definitely have to use an infrared sauna to get the toxins out.
Every day that you paint, you should sauna when you're finished. And
but it's not just painters. It's, I mean,
fingernail stylists, hair stylists.
I mean, what is the rate of autism now? It's 1 in 100 children get autism. Mm-hmm. And there's toxins, there's chemicals, there's so many things in our environment that are just destroying us as a culture and as a people. And you have to make the effort to defend yourself and protect yourself against that stuff and restore your health and vitality. Mm-hmm. My motto for myself now is not to be like these other people, senior citizens that grow old and end up in a wheelchair and they just slowly vegetate and turn into nothing. My goal is to live long, live happy, live healthy, and drop dead. You know, I don't want to have somebody wiping your butt for the rest of your life, in pain. Don't want it.
Yeah, for me, and this is my whole motto, and it's been my motto for a long time, is that years ago, if we would have focused on prevention instead of the cure, 30, 40, 50 years ago, when they started all these foundations, it's like the pharmaceutical companies knew exactly what they were doing. It's called take them up the middle, side swipe, let's create this over here, and we're going to pass these laws or something like that. But instead of focusing on prevention, we were focused on the cure. Now think about if we would have been focused on prevention, we still wouldn't have chlorine in the water. We definitely wouldn't have fluoride. They wouldn't be passing all these bills. Just humanity would have been so different. The pollution index wouldn't be at 50,000 feet in every city and in every nation. It would, and if everybody had a shower filter and a water filtration system and an air filter, I'm not talking about ozone, I'm talking about an air filtration system, the planet would be so much different right now.
Yeah, definitely. And it's not so much that the medical practitioners have been seeking cures. They've been basically dealing with symptoms. So their medications deal with symptoms and not with the root problem, which is we are a very toxic society and culture. Mm-hmm. And until we solve that problem, we will continue to be ill, and the doctors will continue to drive Porsches and have nice houses on the hill because they're dealing with symptoms and not with a cure. So heal yourself.
Yeah, heal yourself. Start looking into the research. I can email you the information on the infrared saunas. And by the way, I do sell the Thersaunas for way less than anybody else does online. You've done the research on my pricing, and I'm way less than everybody else. Plus, I'll teach you how to use it intelligently. And you can email me and Facebook me. I'm Diane Underwood on Facebook, Reverse Aging Naturally on Facebook. My website is changingyourdestiny.com because that's really what I feel that we do. We give you the tools and then you can use the products. And I'm not saying that anything that we do is going to prevent or cure disease, but I can tell you that I use that infrared sauna every day. And I don't have time to waste, and I have a lot of people coming here, so I want to have the best products. I don't have time to have somebody sitting in the sauna and maybe sweat 5 minutes out of an hour. I want people to come in, use the sauna, take a shower, filtered shower, go home, and feel amazing the rest of the day. And I don't have a lot of time to waste, and I don't think a lot of people do either. And I think that we have to take a look and start reading the labels and quit ingesting chemicals and start reading about these toxins. And my last point is you want to look up endotoxins, cytotoxins, myotoxins, mycotoxins, and neurotoxins. Most people know about toxins. You want to find out what these other toxins are, because that's mostly what other people are talking about. And it's not about suppressing the immune system. To me, that's insanity. And they were going to give you some of that stuff, and steroids and all of that.
Yep.
And it's about strengthening the immune system, and that's what I believe the infrared sauna does for me.
Yeah, definitely. Good to be here.
Thank
Diana.
you.
Good
Love
to-
you.
I mean, actually, to be here physically, I think I would have been dead a couple of years ago, definitely.
Or in some mental institution.
Yeah.